Who wants to recap what happened last time? You woke up in the Underdark, and then what?
Well, as soon as we left the tiny hut, we were immediately attacked by mind flayers from the darkness. We sort of determined, without actually specifically trying to capitalize on it, that they really didn't like light, so they were actually retreating. But we were hurt, so we decided we wanted to also just disengage and leave. Celery had used Arcana to keep an eye on them to make sure they didn't come back. Saw that they started fighting with what we determined afterwards were a group of drow. And for reasons that I can't exactly remember, we decided that we were going to try and communicate with the drow instead of continuing to go back. And so we set up behind a wall of force and waited for them, had a bit of a standoff. They sort of understood Undercommon, but not really, so there was some communication errors there that Frid solved with a spell. And eventually they did, in fact, agree to lead us to the surface, but first we would have to go through their city, talk to their leader, and pay the price. We get up over there, and it's, of course, as, drow society and all that, it's a group of women, the matriarchs, where the long story short is that, yes, they will lead us, but first we had to suffer. Of course, then, as through parts of conversations with Reynard, determined that also causing suffering would work as well. Reynard agreed under the idea that it would be bad people that did bad things, and that was not the case. And so Reynard turned their sword to one of the drow matriarchs, and that is about where we ended.
Yep, we ended on a very dramatic move, and that dramatic move is also where we're going to start off from, because the important question right now, well, I'll show you the situation first of all, because I had to map this out. I had to make this unnecessarily big of a battle map, because I happened to mention that the gods were a little bit further away from you, so
Yeah.
so the place is a little bit big. But then again, I mean, it's a big temple slash throne room kind of situation. So as you see, it's just this sort of big area, which is which has a couple of drow guards in the perimeters over there, surrounding you further off away. Then the drow matriarch who you've been talking to is sitting up top. There's two other drow. They seem to be some sort of leaders, who are also sitting there, as well as one of them who came over to Reyna to offer this bad whip to use against these innocent people who are not, presumably innocent people, who are not 5 copies of the same person, but I just couldn't be bothered to to kind of come up with tokens for 5 random people.
Is that the token for Bobbert?
Yes.
Okay.
Bobbert.
And yeah, this is kind of where we start off, and the question now then, the big question to David, you are in control here, so you do your big dramatic sword swipe with your huge dramatic sword. So I can kind of think of how this would realistically end, but it's your choice. You don't need to be rolling anything. You are, because this drow had could not even foresee this as being something that you would do. So they are completely oblivious to this, so your attack connects no matter what. And basically the question is, how dramatic do you want to be about this? Because you may choose to just like slice at them, wound the drow severely, or you can just kill them. If that's like if you're a big dramatic sword swing, you could just like chop off their head or something if you want. It's up to you how much damage you want to do here, and what do you think Reynard would do here?
I think, okay. So I think Reynard's mindset right now, little window into the brain, is Lolth is going to respect strength. Horror respects strength. And I think offering 5 innocents for us to kill, or for us to make suffer, I think the intent was clear that they wanted us to kill them. That's an offense, right? That is something that's worthy of vengeance. And so I think the intent here is to strike this matron down, killing blow, and then immediately surrender, like immediately drop to a knee, bow, surrender to Lolth's strength, and hope they spare us, hope they respect that show of strength. But I think the initial intent here, like I said, I spoke my vow of enmity, unleashed the great sword, pointed at the innocents, and then pivot mid-step, strike to kill.
All right. So Reynard just absolutely just swipes up at this drow here next to you, killing her immediately. And immediately as this happens, you can sense this explosive sort of energy in the room, as kind of everyone, you probably included, kind of maybe for a second they just sort of freeze and be like, what just happened? But then kind of get ready to, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But almost immediately, the main drow leader, who has been commanding this room with her presence and like clearly being the one that everyone is listening to, everyone is focusing on, she gets up and makes a universal hand sign of hold on. And everybody just sort of freezes in place. What kind of reactions do you have?
So
Like
my
immediate
sword
reactions.
strike. Can we move? Like this
No.
isn't like a time
I
stop
mean
situation?
like in like the second.
Pyrus's reactions is probably like a mix of shock and relief.
So Reynard intended to like swipe to kill, cut the matron's head off, but then immediately go into like a flourish, bow, like drop to a knee and submit immediately. So I'll just hold that pose.
Yeah.
Freddy's just kind of like, well, that just happened. Like flabbergasted, really. Yeah, just standing there, amazed, cautiously looking at what's going on, but a bit dumbfounded.
What's Celery thinking about this?
I'm wondering if I'm 60 feet off anybody. That's what I'm thinking. Which I'm not, which means nobody can counter spell if I were to teleport away. So that's what I'm thinking.
Doing math. I love it.
Yeah.
But what's like Celery's reaction to all of this, other than, you know, I can cast spells, because we know
Oh,
Celery can do
my
that.
reaction is I'm calculating my escape plan already, which is why
And then
I
that's
wanna
what's on your
teleport
face,
away.
like darting around. Like, how do we get
Yeah,
out?
I'm like, am I 60 feet away among anybody? And I'm looking if I can actually teleport out. Yeah.
Hmm.
Run away instincts kick in. I'm like getting ready to teleport.
And Mervin's just like, yes, finally, it's not me.
Yeah.
For once.
I'm not in trouble.
Well,
It's not your fault that we're in trouble.
Okay.
But yeah, so the drow leader gets up from her seat, and everyone's kind of still. Though, as the drow leader gets up from her seat, you notice that one of the other drow leaders there gets up as well, and very calmly, without anyone really reacting in any way, she just walks up and sits on the next chair.
promotion.
And the leader gets up, and she still like commanding the room, she states in a calm voice, she says, Lolth favors treachery. You have pleased her. House Cladre is clearly weakened. But you did not do as I commanded you to. What say you in your defense?
Still kind of remaining kneeling, not meeting her eyes, in a show of respect at the very least. Call out. This was a way for Lolth and Hor to both be satisfied.
She says, perhaps so. You have satisfied my queen. But the truth remains that you, interlopers from the surface, men from the surface, have come to our city and killed one of our own. Surely you do not think you can simply leave unpunished. And as she says this, she's wearing like long robes, but she basically just tears them off and kind of casts them aside, and underneath you see she's wearing like black metal armor, neck to toe. and and you can see that the metal has it's like it's deep black, but it's got this green shimmer to it. And she's also she has some sort of rod on her hip, and leaning against the chair was a staff that she now picks up. And then to remind you, I forgot to kind of reiterate this, but this sort of circle of chairs here is basically on an upward spiral, so her chair is quite up high, and the table in the middle is basically on ground level, so there's a big drop there. But she quite effortlessly simply takes a step forward and just kind of walks down like an invisible staircase, levitating down and walking towards you.
Should we teleport out now? Or try?
I don't know. I'm just waiting to react.
How bad of a problem is this?
It's a 60-foot problem, which is like, I'm not sure if I
Do
can
we
even
see-
cast anything.
Is
Well,
there any
she's-
movement from as she's sort of descending the table? Does anyone else in the room react to this?
Not yet, no. They all seem to kind of be waiting for some sort of...
You know what? I'm gonna take out an Arcanium and drink it if I can. Could I do that, dude? Like drink an Arcanium like right in front of her as she's walking down?
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Okay,
It's a good idea.
I'll do that.
Hmm. Which type are you drinking? Do you have any of the originals?
Non-original.
Okay. So as she's walking towards you, Celery just sort of quickly grabs a bottle and starts drinking.
Teleport, have to make sure teleport goes safe, right?
Yeah.
I got good news and bad news. Which one do you want first?
Bad news.
You have a -4 to your stats.
Okay, that's fine. -4, that's -2 to everything. That's fine.
And the good news is you're not dead.
No.
Yeah. Yet.
My AC is a 10. Look at that, people.
Oh my god.
Also, as you drink the Arcanium, and it's sort of like, because it has this kind of like effect of anchoring you to the arcane weave or some such kind of thing, and you being particularly tuned to these kinds of things to begin with, you do realize suddenly that there is something wrong with the we know there's something wrong with the arcane weave, but you know that there's you realize that there's something wrong with it here, like something more wrong.
You're so dead.
And but you also you feel a sort of strange other presence there as well, where you would expect to feel the arcane weave.
So the source of magic is different here.
Possibly something like
Kind.
that, yes.
Yeah.
Or there's another source available here or something. Yeah, the leader keeps walking down towards you. Just chilling.
Okay.
Wait, do answer a question for me. The hand holding to stabilize spell casting. That's something that is done in lieu of Arcanium, or you can stack that to make it more stable.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll hold Celery's hand anyways.
What, like die together? Commemorate imagery.
Sure, we'll die together, or also just
Okay.
silently take your hand.
So y'all are so fatalistic. All right, I'll stand from my kneeling position finally when she kind of reaches the base of the table and as she approaches us.
Okay.
Do I have an opportunity to speak to her?
Yeah.
She's not saying anything. She's just kind of walking to us in silence.
Yeah. She basically said her thing and then she's just been walking towards you.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll say we have no wish to offend Lolth. We respect her strength and we know that she and you are powerful. But we're not without power of our own. As you see, gesture to the dead body there on the floor. And know that horror is not a god of instigation, but of vengeance. We don't imagine that you need to let us leave unmolested. But you may, and if you don't, vengeance will be had. Some threatening.
You can pick whether you want to do persuasion or intimidation.
One place where threatening someone might actually go well.
It's gonna be a high DC though if you're going to be threatening.
Oh, this is absolutely threatening.
This is also one of those places where if you were a woman, it would probably work better.
Yeah. Too bad none of us made female characters.
Yep, that is definitely one of the things that's made your situation worse.
This is where we disguise self and say, I was actually a woman all along.
Don't other pieces get like alter self the spell? Let me check. You could be a woman if you want, if you have the alter self spell.
I mean, I have alter self, it's just not prepared.
Oh, yeah. It's like an advanced disguise self.
Disguise self
Yeah.
has the problem of if they touch you, they know you faked it.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry,
Reynard.
did you want me to roll there or no?
Yeah, whichever you want.
Oh, sorry, I must have missed that. Which, between intimidation and persuasion?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
She does not seem to be very intimidated by you. She finishes up her little walk. These 5 people are basically just kneeled before you and are just sitting there in silence waiting for you to hurt them. Instead, the drow leader, she's going to Sure. She's carrying this staff, as I was saying. She basically grabs it with two hands and strikes one of these people basically back of the head with the point of the staff. Very, very strongly, and the person just crumples down on the floor, not moving. And she says, "Whether by your hand or not, these 5 were doomed to begin with. You have only served to increase the suffering."
Then Lolth must be pleased. I'm not happy watching what she's doing, but they are her prisoners.
She moves to the next one and repeats, striking what seems to be a fatal blow to them. Are you all just
When she gets to
standing
the
there?
one in front of me, I'll do something, but until then.
Okay.
They're not my targets to kill.
Okay. But then she kills a third
Yeah.
one.
I kind of wince. I'm not happy. Not happy watching what she's doing, but they are her prisoners.
Then she goes to the one in front of Fred.
Yeah, I'm kind of in shock, but I'm scared. I don't know how I would get these people out if we tried.
Not what I was going for. Just to recap, if I make this person suffer, then I don't need to suffer. I say out loud. Really, really weaseling.
Oh God!
Being as much of a weasel as I can right now. Like, is that still on the table?
She proceeds to strike the prisoner, and then she locks eyes with Frid, and you can feel this like icy stare, and Frid is perhaps even somewhat scared of her stare at you, as she just simply says, "The time for that is past."
Makes sense, yeah.
And
Could
she
I
moves.
recall
Yep.
this building? Are we like on an upper level? It's ground floor. Like, what did we actually enter?
This is like ground level. There's no more floors to this place, as far as you know.
Okay.
And how quickly could they close the doors if we try and run?
You remember that there were guards at the doors on both sides, so immediately.
Okay.
In fact, I mean, the doors are probably already closed, so they were closed as you came in, so they probably don't need to close them at all. The last of the clones is slain, and then she just sort of looks at all of you one by one, kind of staring into all of you. And the like tension in the room is just massive, as everyone is kind of just like waiting for that spark to like blow this whole thing up.
So can we leave now?
um
Say that in character if that was not clear.
Yes. It was clear. 1 second, I'm thinking about what the correct response to that would be for this particular. Perhaps. Yeah. She looks at, well, she probably like steps on one of the corpses. And she looks at Mervyn and she casts a spell.
Oh, great. Oh.
I kind of lost context on what happened because I dropped.
Am I able
why
to tell
I-
what the spell would be?
She killed all the people they presented us with, and then I asked. Then she just sort of stared at us, and then I asked, "Can we leave now?" And then she stepped forward and is now casting a spell on me.
Am I able to identify what the spell would be?
Arcana, check. No, you unfortunately you're not familiar with this spell.
Could I try counterspell nonetheless, and see if the spell even goes off?
Sure.
Or maybe it's just sleep.
As you start casting your spell, Celery, you were already aware of this like strangeness going around. So you realize that drawing on like your normal reserves of power don't seem like they would necessarily work here. But you do feel that other thing. So this is all kind of happening in like a split-second moment reaction for you. You realize that you can choose to try drawing upon that other power. But you also get the sense that it's sort of like if you imagine it like figuratively as you like pulling a string to kind of get some power out of there. You feel like if you were to pull this string, there's something very evil on the other side pulling the other way.
So the question is, do I want to serve Mervyn with this evil boss?
Basically. do you want to draw upon this potentially evil force to try and cast this spell of yours?
I mean, I currently have over 100 hit points, so the worst case scenario would be like power word kill, and she can't do that.
Oh, that's the
try it
worst case scenario?
Yeah,
I'll try it
that I can
anyway.
imagine. Yeah.
Here's my D20 roll minus whatever it is.
Isn't it 0 now?
It's a 18. Okay. No, it's
Oh,
not
no,
0.
sorry,
It's
it's not 0, it's
18 plus 4 minus 2. So it's a 20. I should be able to counterspell anything, right?
Yeah, you can counterspell anything.
Hold on 1 second.
So then you tapped into the evil
Yep.
power.
Let's see
Okay.
what happens.
You
As-
counterspell and it kills her.
As she attempts to cast a spell on Mervyn, Celery comes in with some mumbles of your own, and the spell fails. The drow spell fails.
I'm gonna shout to you guys. It's time to get out of here now.
Yeah, as that happens, basically instantaneously everyone kind of like is in action mode, and we shall be rolling some initiatives. Sorry, I just removed Pyros by accident. I'll add you back. Oh, you added
Right,
yourself
okay,
back.
that works.
Thank you, Celery, for saving me from whatever that was.
My initiative is just a 15 now.
This probably won't come up, but I'll ask anyway. With the wording of the Amulet of Health, it says that while you're wearing it,
Sorry,
your
did that roll go through
constitution
properly?
is a
I got
19.
an error, but
Does that mean that the Arcanium doesn't lower his
Oh.
constitution score?
Good point. I think you're right.
Yes.
That also means that it can't increase it then, though.
Yeah. It also means that nothing can increase it, yes. And I do take that into account when I do the Arcanium stuff. Because with my Ion Stone of Intellect, that is also the case. I can't. Wait, oh, no, Ion Stone of Intellect. Wait, let me look at that, because I think it's just a bonus instead of... No, it's just it increases by 2. Yeah, for Ion Stone of Intellect, but Amulet of Health specifically just says it becomes a 19.
I think Rena is not in the initiative order because he didn't click his token.
Right. Yep, there's a few people in here. Just a few.
Yep. Just a few you know of. Wait, what?
I think when we first put on the map, I counted a total of like 13 that I could see.
What are these?
Not a
Right.
lot. My Wi-Fi's body today.
above table, do we still currently have one of the resurrection diamonds? We bought one, didn't we?
We bought 2.
2. Okay.
Reynard and I have matching diamond earrings.
Yeah, we have 2. Each of us has an earring.
Lovely.
That's right. I'm gonna switch to my other computer.
Is that everyone that you know of? Yes.
We know.
That we know.
Could you help add Reina back into it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting Reynard in there as well. With an initiative roll of 1.
Oh, do
The
you
tank-
really?
The tank is springing into action.
He's kneeling, and he's going to stay that way.
God, she's right in front of me. My AC of 10.
So we know that, assuming the teleport doesn't work, that Cellar's going to be using greater invisibility if that does.
That sounds like a great plan. But the problem is that you guys do not know where to get her.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm no camera again. I'm just gonna have to get a webcam for this computer because it's just not working at the end of it.
All right, so I think you probably know already, but just kind of as an additional point to let you know, with your experience estimating the power level of different things in the world, looking at the situation and all of the enemies that you know of, you don't think you have much of a chance of getting out of here. Or rather, like, defeating everyone here.
Yeah.
Is that
Because
in
you
the sense of the room alone
think-
or more? Sorry.
What was the question?
Is that because of the enemies alone in the room, or because of the wider sense we'd be attacking the entire city?
No, I was just talking about the room. I mean, I
Right.
thought it was obvious that because if you're in the center of the city, there's no way you're getting out of here after attacking their leader. like even if you were to kill everyone here, you have a whole drow city then bearing down on you. So
All we need to do is genocide or something.
Slave revolt, right?
Yeah.
No, okay, so fair enough. So the priority needs to be let's get out of here if we can. And I missed what I heard the bit about an alternative to the weave or an evil presence that we could tap into, but I missed what came of that. Did you decide to actually use that?
Celery used it, yes.
Did use it. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Also, you do like the physical realm here. The building you're in, the fact that there's guards behind you that you see, and guards that you know are further down at the doors. Just like physically running away is probably not going to work as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you also get the sense that this like drow leader here alone is probably someone who could go toe to toe with you like your whole party. So, with all of that said, let's get started.
Hillary, save us.
Unless she's in counter spell range. But I
This-
wouldn't want to cast teleport.
This random drow god apparently goes first. And they... I think everybody here is just, yeah. They are moving closer, and they are just going to go ahead and take a shot at Reynard with a crossbow. Yes. Yep. Which probably is not going to work because of Reynard's AC, but we can see. What was the AC? 21?
19.
20? 19?
19.
Oh, well, too bad. That's a hit then.
Oh no.
You take 8 points of piercing damage. And then a Constitution saving throw, please.
Let's see. I should actually have proficiency there. That's not. There we go. That wasn't reflected on the sheet. But...
That's save. Then it is the turn of one of the drow leaders at the table. So there's two of them. The one closer to you. You've seen she's mostly been like sitting facing kind of away from you, but you've seen a little bit of her, and she looks to be a very old drow, and you know that elves don't really look old until they are really old. So this person is really old, and they are just sitting there calmly in their chair. Then it is the drow leader, who is going to go ahead and just walk up to just gonna walk up to Celery and deal with this counter spell caster.
Do I have my reaction, or it hasn't been my turn? Do I not have my reaction?
No, you don't have it.
Okay.
So she comes in and she brings out this rod that she had on her hip, and it's like a short like metal rod. As she brings it up and comes in with a strike, it actually kind of transforms into a whip kind of thing, which she then strikes you with, and she's gonna try to do it a couple of times.
I'm gonna say, I'll be impressed if you can miss.
It's impossible for her to miss.
Sort of
It's
a
your
reverse
turn.
intimidate.
Yeah. It's probably only misses on a 1.
Exactly. That's what I think.
Yeah, those are unfortunately all hits. So you take 8 She hits you 3 times. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Total?
Total. And then I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is it for poison? Do elves have anything for poison?
All right. So you don't save. You get to repeat your Constitution saving throw at the end of your turn.
Wait. Can I add Flash of Genius
No.
to it?
Okay. You your speed is halved. You have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, and you can't use your reactions. And on your turn, you can use an action or a bonus action, but not both.
Okay, wait, that's too much. Okay, so speed halved. Disadvantage on dex. Action or
No
bonus
reaction.
action. No reaction. Okay.
And
Slightly modified slow.
yeah, she's just gonna be there. Celery, it's your turn.
If you hold your action for teleport, I can help with the concern for counterspell.
I can help with it.
I'm still gonna turn
What
invisible.
would your character do in this moment?
Turn invisible. So I would still turn invisible. Yeah. So I'm just gonna cast this and then see what happens. And since I've already taken it from the evil arcane wave, I'm just gonna continue using that as a resource.
The drow warrior that came closer to you attempts to counterspell you.
Well, greater invisibility would also fix the counterspell problem because
If I can get it off, that's the thing.
if you can get it off, yeah. Because then they can't, they don't see you casting a spell.
That works. You have been counterspelled.
Boy.
Okay. Here's my next Constitution save because I guess I'm staying put. Oh, that's not happening.
That's still a fail.
Just leave it. That's my turn. I'm gonna tell Parsnip to help me get some cover, and that's it.
I
Then
don't know
it
that
is
my aura of protection would have helped in either of those cases, but you are in range of it.
I
It's got
added it
added.
already.
You did. Okay, excellent.
then it is the turn of this one drow male over here who seems to be a little bit better equipped even than the whatever royal guards or whatever they have here. Like the warriors here already seem to be kind of like elite warriors, but this one seems to be even more elite. And they're just gonna go ahead and do a double move. Then it is the turn of this one over here. they are gonna go ahead and, I suppose, shoot at Reynard, who's again the closest one. A hit. Gotta always be surprised when somebody hits Reynard's AC. That's 7 piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw. That's a save. Then it's Parsnip.
Parsnip is just gonna expand and see if he can block line of sight of some people. That's it.
Then it's one of the other drow matriarchs, and she's also going to simply stay seated. Pyros.
There's a few things I could try to do here. So I guess Pyrus wouldn't technically know really about the whole magic thing, but I think what I'm going to try to do here is just first off take one step to the side and try to use hold monster on the drow matriarch here. Here we go.
So many things that could go wrong with just casting a spell.
Oh yeah.
You should move back at the end of your turn because teleport has a range of 10 feet.
Okay.
There's no way I'm casting this spell when there's so many guards that's within range.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What's the what's the
DC?
Yeah.
17.
That thing. So, Pyros, as you start casting your spell, you actually don't feel any sort of like you don't get the same feeling as Celery that there's something like wrong, and your magic how should I put this? Well, no. I guess we'll just leave it at that because you haven't really communicated about any sort of different experiences here. So, for you, it feels like everything's fine.
Okay.
You cast your spell, and nobody tries to stop you, and it doesn't work, unfortunately. She saves.
Okay. Yeah, alright, so I guess I will move back with that pointed out to me there. It is in everyone's best interest if we are allowed to leave here. Because otherwise, this place will probably burn.
Do you want to drop an intimidation roll on that?
Alright. As I remember, with the scar, I have advantage on that.
Ooh. I'm very prepared to use. Yeah, let's use Flash of Genius on that. Why not? +5.
the
Would have been more
nobody
effective
really
if
seems
the
to
villain worked, but you know.
really react immediately in any way. The drow leader is going to go ahead and steal a turn in between here, and she's going to take a step to the side. Does Mervyn want to do a opportunity attack? Melee.
She doesn't have her reaction. He doesn't have his
yeah,
reaction.
I don't
yeah.
have my reaction. I used it for Flash of Genius.
Um,
I wouldn't have used it anyway. I don't have any melee weapons.
The drow leader comes up to Pyros and she says, "Yield, and you will be spared." And she's gonna go ahead and smack you with the staff this time. So let's see. Gonna be. What's your AC?
15.
Rolling the dice. That's a hit. You take 13 points of bludgeoning damage, followed by 27 points of psychic damage.
Nice. All right.
And I'm going to need you to do 2 wisdom saving throws. Or I guess 1 for now, and probably a second one afterwards.
Yep.
Well, no, I guess you don't need to roll again because you failed.
Yep.
You are frightened of this drow now.
Okay.
You are scared. And then it's Mervin's turn.
All right, I'm gonna step forward. That armor you said she was wearing, is it metal by chance?
Yes.
Great. So then I'm gonna do shocking grasp, and I make the attack roll with advantage if she's wearing armor made of metal. 18. Okay. Is an 18 hit?
It does not.
Yeah. That's a bummer. Okay, fine. Do I have... no, bonus action will be commanding Todd to bonk her. But first, Todd's got to get into position. Right there is good. And Todd shall bonk her. And if it hits, I'll use Arcane Jolt to heal. Pyro's great.
That is it.
And sorry, Arcane Jolt. Wait. It is 46. Okay, so 4d6. Pyros. Okay. 14.
All right.
You.
Then it is who? This guard. 1, 2, 3. They move in here, and I suppose they are going to shoot at Pyros. Oh, that's a miss.
Not too many of those.
Then it is somebody else. Oh, up here. No. They're gonna move in closer, and it is Frit's turn.
Okay, so quick rules question: does a corpse count as an object?
For what?
For animate objects.
No.
You're kind of the specific animate dead for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worth asking.
Well, there's those chairs. As long as they're not
Table.
glued to the floor.
There's also
I
spider
had
statues.
a better idea. I just need to double check the distances. 1,
It's also a spell that might
2,
not work.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I wish we
You
still
cast
had
scatter.
I wish
You're
we
out
still
of
had those types of
range,
haunting.
and you're out of range. Okay.
Oh, mass suggestion.
Yeah. So I'm going to use my bonus action to unsettling words on the matriarch.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say, your armor is quite tacky, I'll be honest. It's... really, what's it doing for you?
So Frid goes from groveling to insults. Petty
Fred is a
insults.
Work of art.
Oh, that is not what I wanted. Okay. Then
Could you even subtle cast mass suggestion?
I could not, because I do not have enough sorcery points for that.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You don't need to subtle cast. Oh, I mean, it would prevent someone from counterspelling it, though, because they don't know you're casting a spell.
Yeah.
What is the duration? Do I upcast it? That's the question. 24
This is
hours. 24 hours
two.
is enough. That will either work or it won't. I use 6th level mass suggestion. And what I say is...
Well, first you start casting the spell.
Yeah.
Before you say the words. So you start casting the spell, and you... I'm going to need you to roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
All right. You start casting the spell. You cast your spell, and you can say your suggestion.
No.
I say...
That's worse.
Oh god. Allow us to leave peacefully. You should allow us to leave peacefully.
Is this going to be the end of your turn, by the way? Or are you moving somewhere?
Well, I can move through some space, I guess. So that's been action, bonus action. I wouldn't know if it works necessarily on them, but I am able to say something regardless, because what do I have if not my mouth?
Your big mouth.
So I would like to say...
Wait, you already said the suggestion.
Is that... Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Yeah. then
What
that's
else
my
are you
turn.
going to be saying?
The same thing, but non-magically.
Not how it
Please,
works.
guys, I mean it. Please, please,
Not how
please.
it works.
Once with magic, once with the power of persuasion.
Which you cannot get lower than 20 on.
25.
What?
Yeah. So in some ways, it probably would have been better to do that instead of a 6-level spell slot. But
Why was anyone else talking?
Because then we wouldn't have this kind of fun.
I can also lie no worse than a 25.
All right, but that's the end of your turn then.
Yeah.
Okay. Because then the drow leader is going to steal a turn, and she's going to say, first of all, what you notice after you cast your spell, where you would maybe expect them to perhaps at least relax a little bit.
If it had worked, yeah.
Be less like, we are about to kill you right now stance. Nobody reacts in any way that would suggest that your suggestion has done anything. And I think we can, above the table, guess that this probably didn't have anything to do with Frid's spell itself, but rather with the fact that you did not perhaps realize the same stuff that Celery did.
Yeah.
So your spell may not have actually done anything. But with this knowledge, you are perhaps a little bit surprised by the matron mother looking at you and saying, "Yes, we will let you go. As I said, yield, or you will suffer even more." And then she's going to go ahead and she's going to she's going to slap you with the staff. We're going to go with that one. On you.
Impose disadvantage on the attack.
No, sure.
And she takes 9 damage when he does that.
What's Fred's AC?
Currently 16.
Mm-hmm. So the first attack that Todd magically blocks misses.
Yeah.
Todd has saved the day.
Yeah.
The second one does hit though.
This is her legendary action, right? And she get 2 attack on a legendary action?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, she is, as
She's
I
scary.
said she alone could take you on. So, she has a multi-attack as one of the legendary actions.
Do you want to help us kill Zixie?
Give her a little recruitment speech.
You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage, followed by 19 points of psychic damage. So 26.
Minus 26 in total.
Yeah. And a wisdom saving throw.
Why did it have to be wisdom? Do I even need to roll? Do I even need to?
You do need to roll.
Sure.
But you are very likely to not succeed.
I think we all knew where that was going.
You are frightened of the drow. If you weren't already.
Yeah, tell me something I don't know.
Then we have one of the drow guards. They come up closer. They take a shot at Pyros. And because Parsnip is blocking the way, so there's only one person to shoot. Unfortunately, I think Parsnip might be causing more trouble. They would have probably shot at Pyros anyway.
I mean, they could always shoot at Parsnip if they really want to get rid of Parsnip.
True. I mean, they can just shoot Parsnip as well.
Parsnip
Pyros,
has HP.
you take 10 points of piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw.
Nope.
That is a fail. And is anyone doing anything about that, or is that just how it is?
I used my reaction, so
Okay. So you are poisoned, and you are also unconscious. So you fall to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Another Drow warrior closes in, and they're going to go ahead and shoot at Fred, I suppose.
Okay, guys, I have a really bad idea.
I love it.
A really bad idea.
Well, first of all, you get hit.
Yeah. Actually, I'd like to use the time stone
On that attack.
on the attack.
I can see what your bad idea is, and
Oh, now I see the bad idea too.
That really is a
I don't
very
see
bad
it.
idea.
It is a very
I
bad
don't
idea.
see it. I don't see it. What
Keep
is
using
it?
the time stone on all the attacks, I think, is the bad idea.
Until it breaks open.
Yep.
Did you say bad idea? I don't know.
Do you know what happens when the time stone breaks?
I do.
That's
We
not-
talked
Do
about that a
you?
couple times.
Okay.
do you know what happens?
Please.
Chaos.
That seems like an improvement to our current situation.
This is just objectively bad. We don't know what the possible badness of the future is.
Okay, the second attack roll, or the re-roll, hits.
Okay.
Are you just going to take the hit?
Can I use a time stone on that one as well, or is it my action already used?
Yeah, I think it uses a
No, 'cause
reaction,
it's,
doesn't
yeah,
it?
it's your
I mean,
reaction.
You
Yeah.
you have it, so you can keep using.
I've used my
You
reaction,
make-
so I can't do
you make
anything
the
else. about
decision.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, you take 8 points of damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
Constitution saving throw. Roll that and -8
-8?
for
Minus
the damage.
Oh.
okay. That was okay.
Into the Constitution roll somehow.
You save. You save.
Yes.
Then another guard closes in, and one more who's gonna do the classic old shoot Reynard thing, and that's a miss. Then it is finally Reynard's turn.
All right. So I'll go ahead and move up to here. My aura of courage suffuses those who were afraid and now are not any longer. Once I move within 10 feet of you.
Nice.
I don't know how that works on an unconscious Pyros, but
Very sweet dreams. Very, yeah. Okay, so because I did speak my vow of enmity against the matriarch that I disemboweled.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming I do not have that active right now, or do not have that available right now. Or does Horror smile upon my current shenanigans?
No special smiles. So, however it works, is it like once? When can you
I
use
can
it?
channel divinity once per short rest, and I used it for flavor.
Oh yeah, it's a
against
channel
Matriarch.
divinity. Yeah. So
Yes.
no, unfortunately no. Hor has
Okay,
not
that is
blessed you with anything special here.
All right. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and open up with a couple of attacks on the Matriarch. Let's see. Oh, is she? Do we use flanking rolls? Is she
No.
flanked right now?
No.
Okay. Then that's the first attack.
That is a miss.
I assume that's a spectacular miss, and this is the second attack.
That is a hit.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and add a third level Divine Smite onto that. Some extra oomph.
Mm-hmm.
So 30 damage total.
All right.
And that's it.
Okay. Then it is the turn of this Drow warrior over here. They are going to just drop their crossbow and draw their scimitars as they close in. And they are going to strike at this big weird thing here. Attacking Parsnip with said scimitars. What's the Parsnip AC?
12.
Well then, there was one hit. The Drow warrior attacked Parsnip 3 times with these scimitars and somehow missed twice.
Wow.
It's kind of amazing. Okay.
Yeah. And Parsnip takes... Uh, 6 points of slashing damage and 13 points of poison.
It's gone. It only has 2 hit points. I didn't even have a chance to hear it since last combat.
Yep. Yeah, it's like that's the kicker, is that you've just gone from one fight to this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the Drow warrior looks pleased at having defeated this large monstrosity in one fell swoop. Then it is the turn of the old Drow matron, who keeps on sitting in her chair, minding her own business here. She does not seem to be concerned about what's going on in the room. It is the turn of the matron mother. And she... she repeats her threat to all of you, saying, "Yield now, or you will suffer beyond your comprehension." And as she says this, she I suppose she raises her staff to the air, and behind her, kind of out of thin air, forms basically what starts happening is there's like you see like a puddle of yellow goo on the floor, and this goo just kind of expands up and forms this sort of medium size strange glob of something, and it's hard to describe. It's almost like kind of a yellow gooey like tree trunk with branch like tentacles and one big eye in the middle of it all. A horrifying creature is summoned forth. And the horrifying creature, I suppose, needs to roll for initiative. What's its thing? Mm-hmm. Ooh. Yeah, and I guess that's all the matron mother does, and that's yeah. She basically just tells you to stop it right now, or else this this blob's gonna eat you. Then it is the turn of the blob. Yeah, it's just gonna start kind of smacking away at it lets out it's got like you think it has 8 tentacles. It's kind of hard to tell, but you think it's got 8 tentacles, and you do get hit by 8 tentacles. It's going to go ahead and choose to kind of go around the group here and go and distribute these to Reynard, Todd, and Mervyn. So let me do some attack rolls on you all. So it's going to do 3 tentacles are going to come at Reynard. 2 of them apparently hit. Whoa.
Wait, this thing basically has 8 attacks?
Yep. Another 3 is going to go at Mervyn.
AC is 17.
Okay, there's a hit. And another. And a third.
Oh.
And then it's going to go for Todd. with 2.
Okay. Todd's AC is also 17 now.
Okay, then that's just 1 hit on Todd. So 1, 2, 3, basically. Let's do the damages. So what is that? Todd takes 7 points of bludgeoning damage. Reynard takes 12 points of bludgeoning damage. And Mervyn takes 20 points of bludgeoning damage. And Celery. Oh, I should mention about those tentacles. You can tell that they are a 10 feet range attack. just to let you know that it has the reach.
Can I have an access of Pyros of like how to get rid of his unconscious state? Like, is it instant? Is it his next turn? Or is he forever unconscious?
Do you know about drought poisons?
I have no idea. That's why I asked.
I mean, you know about poisons. I mean, give us give us an Arcana check. We'll see how well you can guesstimate this thing.
Anyone?
Yep. You're pretty sure it's a sort of poison that when somebody is hit with it particularly hard, as in they fail to save it particularly badly, it might put them in an unconscious state, and you can they are likely to just fall asleep, but you can probably wake them up by damaging them or just shaking them with an action, taking an action to shake them awake.
If you wait to cast teleport, I can use pyrotechnics to obscure you.
There's no point because if you obscure me, I can't see all of you. I can't teleport you.
You have to. Oh, you have to be able to see us.
Yeah, I thought of that too. I have fog cloud, but like, there's no point. My thought is like, how do you even know what spell I'm casting? That's my thought.
They might just counter it anyways.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cast a spell. And if you're gonna counter spell it, let's see what happens. And the target is on the Martriad.
What spell are you casting?
I'm gonna cast light on it. Yeah, go ahead, counter spell it. Whatever. I'm like.
So the thing is, the lower the level of the spell, the more knowledgeable people are probably about what it is, and be able to recognize whether it's a threat.
It's a threat. It's light.
Nobody.
They just
You're drowsed,
a
right?
little worse in lice. They're not. They don't. It doesn't like.
It's sunlight specifically. The light spell does not do anything to drow. Yeah, no, none of them choose to counterspell you.
Okay, so light up. That's a DC 15 dex save. Light up.
What are you trying to light?
Let's do her stuff then.
Okay. I mean, I guess she will try to. Yeah, 'cause I'm like thinking, would she even bother trying to?
Only
I'm
because she
trying to
doesn't want him
avoid
to touch it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so yeah, she attempts to save and she succeeds in saving it.
Okay, I wasn't even like, I'm just like, whatever. I just wanted to spend the turn. Okay, whatever. That was all I wanted to do, spend the turn.
That's not a save,
I'm ready to
unfortunately.
yell. I'm ready to yell whenever you are ready to stop hitting us.
Yeah, I think we may have better odds at teleporting out after we're taken under guard.
That's true.
Hold on. Yes. The super elite drow comes closer. Parks right there. And with a scimitar drawn, actually, that could be fun. Hey, that could be fun. Yeah, actually, as the drow closes in on you, on the way, they're gonna go ahead and cast a spell.
On who?
I would like to identify it because I'm an 8th level caster. So is it low level enough that I would just know it inherently?
So I don't think you have the spell. I don't think so. So roll Arcana. I
It
can
doesn't
also
matter. I
check
don't
if
even
you
have I don't have my reactions. So it doesn't really matter.
You said you wanted to know.
I think you
Hey,
know.
why don't you have your reaction?
Because of the poison
It's
that
the
I'm still
poison.
under effect of. Yeah.
Right. The slow.
Yeah. You you are aware that you are being chain lightninged.
Oh my god.
I said I was ready to yell.
So they're gonna cast it on.
Does Fred have resistance to lightning damage
I
by
do.
chance? Aha.
On Reynard, yeah. And
metal.
Mervyn. And you know what? It's just gonna chain through the group there. So Reynard, Mervyn, Celery, and Fred. You need to make dexterity saving throws.
Is Todd getting hit?
No, Reynard, Mervyn, Celery, and Fred.
Okay. Sorry, just checking.
What's the DC? Okay. So Frid and Celery, you took 50 points of lightning damage. And Reynard and Mervyn, you take 25.
I would also take 25 because it's lightning, yes, and I have resistance to that.
That would make it 25, yes.
Yeah.
And then the drow is going to come in and finish their move by attacking Mervyn with the scimitar.
Wait, this person can attack and cast a spell? Not fair.
Does 26 hit your AC?
Yes.
You take math. You take 15 points of damage.
15.
I think that chain lightning might be enough for us to lower weapons.
Yeah,
Listening page.
Yeah, fine.
I'm not hearing universal agreement there, so
Oh, I said I was ready to yell already.
yeah, but Frid is not.
Well, Pyros is asleep,
Yeah, Pyros
so he doesn't count. He doesn't get a vote. Fred,
If Frid is conscious at his next turn, he is going to try and use a time stone. Above table, that's what
In
Frid
fairness.
plans to do.
Fred can still do this while we are surrendering.
All right, so
Well-
Reynard, Mervyn, and Celery, you'll all like, okay, I give up.
I never had any weapons to begin with.
Yeah, but are you like
Yeah,
now
fine.
being like, hey, I'm not gonna fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We yield.
Although, question,
Okay.
does Celery need his book or staff or whatever to cast spells?
No, once I prepare it, I know it. And it's verbal component for teleport, so I don't even care if you have my hands tied.
Great.
All right. In that case, there is. Does Todd yield?
Yes, I suppose Todd yields.
Todd fights alone to the bitter end.
Todd fights to the death.
All
Once
right.
this battle programming has been engaged, you cannot shut it off.
That soldier moves closer.
Can I? Here's a question.
One of the
please.
drow just keeps sitting on their chair. What is your question?
Can I pretend to surrender and then use a time stone?
On what?
As a reaction to what?
I guess I can just roll a history check and then I could roll the time stone if I really want to. But if everyone else is
Right.
surrendering, am I able to surrender in a way where I could keep access to the time stone and then use it at my next turn?
Depends on what
Sure.
they do to you. If they take it away from you, then no.
This is also technically a war crime.
We're about
Power
to go in
sorry,
and probably be
bad.
I'm
tortured.
joking.
So
I'm joking, but
You know, if Duke really wanted to torture us, he would put one of us. He would keep all of us 10 feet from each other except for one of us. So we have to choose to leave the person.
do I get a save or anything, or is it just skip?
No, you're just sleeping because none of your friends saw
Oh
it.
wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I meant to do this. I really did think about doing this on my turn. Sorry. I was gonna surrender and have Todd shake Pyros away. Wait, can I?
Well,
instead
that
of
would
Todd
still be
heal-
after Pyros' turn here, because your turn
that's
comes
next
after Pyros' turn. So
Sorry, but you were asking
So,
if
no.
everyone was healed. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
yeah, so no, not yet. Pyros is just sleeping. But if Todd is not just being like, I give up. Instead, you're being
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna shake this person up.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
my
not
plan.
the same thing. You're
Please, correct. That is not the same thing.
yeah. You think that at that point you would be like giving the signal that you're fighting. So I don't think you want to do that. So is Frid giving up? Because these guards are now they're not attacking actively right now, but they are moving in on you.
Again, like I said, I think Frid is the kind of rascal who would try and release a time fiend after. Actually,
Go for it. I want to see it happen. I want to see this chaos ensue.
Well,
Maybe you
think about
don't get a choice, right? Maybe
what
they
does
attack
Frid
you twice and
know
you don't get a
about the
choice.
time fiend?
it might well freeze us all in time.
Does he really think that is safer than dealing with the current situation?
Frid has seen how the slaves are treated, and that doesn't seem very safe or like anything that it's basically in his mind it's a known bad thing versus an unknown likely bad thing. And Frid doesn't really want to be tortured. Like, he was, in his mind, he was willing to kill the people. So it's really, he's a neutral character. He's happy to, as long as he's okay, he doesn't really mind. He's not going to go out of his way to do stuff to harm others, but this seems like it's going to be a lot of harm to him. So,
You know, if you're unsure, do a wisdom check, and if you fail, release the time fiend.
No, I feel like you should just wait till your turn and then see what you want to do, and in the meantime, just stay like what you intend to do.
I'm not
Sure.
going to commit.
I mean, then it's the next person's turn.
Yeah,
They
make him
moving
try,
closer.
shall we?
They move right next to Frid, and they have their weapons at the ready, but they've seen all of your allies yield, so they don't immediately attack you because they are expecting. They seem to be ready to attack you.
Right.
But they do not do anything immediately, as they are assuming that surely this lone little bard here is just going to give up.
Okay. So maybe it might save me some grace. I will lower my loot, anything else I've got. And then I think I do want to make a history check to see what I know of what Drow do to their prisoners, if I know anything further, like what it could entail.
Sure. Make a roll.
Drow are evil kind of thing, or I'd have to. I've made a roll. I now use my reaction to use
no.
a time stone.
Okay.
So I will roll again.
Mm.
And let's see what happens.
So what you know is not much. basically you just know things are bad, but the history check of like 10 minutes ago when you were outside and saw the slaves, I don't know, they seem to be just fine. But like, you've also just history check 5 minutes back, you've also just seen somebody just like execute 5 people in front of you for the crime of being alive. So yeah.
She did tell us that we would be spared. We wouldn't be
The
killed.
time stone feels warm to the touch, but that's it.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, let's surrender.
All right.
All I did was make a check and touch a rock. Although, in terms of like play-by-play about what's happening, if there is an opportunity within the next 6 seconds where I still have the time stone on me, I would like to use it again. Or if they immediately confiscate it before the next 6 seconds, sure. But if I still have it in my possession within the next 6 seconds, I would like to do more or less the same thing.
Well, as you all kind of yield and lower your weapons, the guards basically come in and surround you. And the drow leader, she's gonna start moving away from you, back towards the table. The creature that she had summoned, the yellow blob thing, actually starts transforming itself, changing its shape, and instead of this yellow blob, it kind of grows in size a little bit. The tentacles lengthen and kind of rest down on the floor, and as it changes its shape, what you're left with is a big spider. And Frid can use the time stone again.
I shall. Let's make a medicine check into how to fix Pyros being unconscious. Normal roll. And well, that's a really bad roll. I should probably use a time stone, shouldn't I, guys?
Maybe I just kick him in the head.
This is like you're starting to lose a street fight, and so someone sets off a tactical nuke.
Oh my god!
Classic 1 into 20.
You think your medicinal knowledge tells you that to wake up Pyros, one good treatment would be a kick. The time stone feels warm in your hand.
So much for not using it twice in one day, or it'll go kaboom and the world will end. I feel like
the guards start disarming you, assuming you are willing to let go of your arms, your weapons.
Weapons, yes.
Kind of have to be.
How much of the stuff are they taking?
Well, right now they're just like starting off with your weapons, like they're going to take your crossbow away from you.
Yes, yes.
And your swords and your daggers and all of that.
I'll sharp and all pointy stuff.
Hmm.
Do I actually have the dagger. Okay, sure, take it.
And actually, no, she would go around. Frid can use your time stone again.
To identify what this spider is, if it's anything in particular, would that be a religion check or nature?
Can I make a suggestion?
Go
Why don't you try and persuade her? You know, try and persuade her to go easy on us, or at least something to that effect. Let's get some use out of the time stone if we're going to spam it.
Fine.
You convince her to let us go. She says yes, and at that moment, the time goes up.
Boom. Sure.
Could I also like just roll my con saves to see if I even save at some point?
Yeah, sure. You can do.
How long does this poison last anyway? If it's like perpetual, then I'll just, since I'm beside Reyna, I'll just keep rolling until eventually it saves, right?
Hold on. 1 minute.
Oh, then I won't even bother. I'll just let the minute pass, and then I was like, whatever.
All right.
I'll say, whilst giving up my gear, surely we've suffered enough. we don't need to be hurt anymore, right? In an attempt to persuade them to not hurt us anymore. Can
Roll
I
your
roll
persuasion?
So we get a
I mean,
33. And then, you know what? Let's use the time stone. Can we beat a 33?
No.
So that would be a 25.
yeah. No matter how high you roll, you do realize it's probably not a request that's gonna go well. But
I mean,
anyways,
a 35 persuasion is pretty persuasive.
it is. But anyways, the time stone feels very warm in your hand.
How long does this go on until something else happens?
See, as a player, I half feel like Dupe is giving me an out, saying, "Don't TPK the party" or something. But
Frankly speaking, now that I'm no longer affected by this bloody stupid poison, I could just abandon all of you and run. By
Other
myself.
than the fact that there's 4 people that can cast counterspell.
No, I can get out of their range. That's why I literally could abandon all of you.
So as they confiscate your weapons, they also wake up Pyros. You are still poisoned, but you are now also awake. And then they start kind of looking for other things on you to take away from you, like spell foci and such things.
And our potions and spell scrolls, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
and our
Can I just abandon you guys? Would you guys blame me if I abandoned you guys?
Not
Yes.
at all, honestly.
if it's what your character would do, it's what your character
Yeah.
would do.
Yeah.
That's how we got into this, is following what characters would do. So
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, you guys might die.
take care
Okay,
of yourself.
No, yeah, I mean, if it is what your character would do, that's fine. Mervin will be mad.
Yeah. And figure out where do I need to go first.
Right. So obviously for mine, I guess they would take the wand of the war mage, have a
I
crystal.
need to come.
Would they think to
Oh,
take
if
the
you're-
lantern?
You know what? If you're running, take the vine.
Mine is already on me, right?
Is it yours? Okay, that's perfect. Yeah.
Already on me.
But so Celery, you need to do those Constitution saving throws then, because we have not.
Oh.
It's not been a minute. It's been like a couple of rounds here, as Frid has wanted to keep using the time stone.
Do we have any
Is that
sense
enough?
of what Frid is trying to do? Like, is there any
It is.
like do we know what using the
No.
time stone looks like or anything like that?
No, it's literally just him touching it.
Okay, got it. But we don't notice him touching it. I'm just wondering if we need to try to buy a minute for, distraction's sake, but only if we know what he's doing.
No, you definitely probably would not know what he's doing, and you probably would not think that somebody would do something like this.
Tactical
All right.
you.
Someone could not be so stupid, right? Right?
But they would be confiscating the vine as well from Celery here.
Not unless he moves quickly.
Right.
So does that say?
Yeah, it did.
I'm
Yeah.
asking. Because
Yeah,
I have no idea if it's safe yet.
He said it
Yep,
did.
it's saved. It's saved.
Okay, so I guess I'll just do bonus action to step out. This is not even a spell. And then from there, I'll move my actual
But
movement.
so hold on. So you're doing this now before they take anything except for your dagger and your spell focus.
No, I'm gonna do that once I feel like the poison has gone off. Which I have no idea at what point. I just thought they weren't acting that quickly either.
All right. Well, you don't have your weapon. You don't have your spell book. You don't have the vine either. So what are you doing?
I think I'll still do it and then get out. I can always learn spells later, right? At the very worst, I'll be stuck with whatever prepared spells I always have.
You could do sleight of hand to try and get one of the things back.
Seriously, no.
That would probably take up
Seriously.
one of the actions that he's trying to use.
It would take up
Yeah.
one of your actions, yeah.
Because if I do this and move my speed, I'm exactly 65 outside. And then I'll just use my action to teleport. Otherwise, they could just chase after me.
So before you do this, let me just paint the picture of beyond this battle map. Because if you just like go out of the southern exit here, you know that there's more guards right there. And there's closed doors, there's the guards right there.
But I just need
And-
to be at 65 and I could teleport already. Why do I need to go beyond the door?
I mean, the thing is, you're not exactly sure if there's going to be somebody 60 feet away from you. On the other side there.
But within this chamber, is there nowhere he can go that's 60 foot clear?
Isn't this like 60 foot clear already? This is
Pretty
super
big.
wide.
It's a pretty big chamber.
This is super wide.
Yeah, he just needs to go.
Is there like guards here already or something?
They're right outside the door from when we came in.
Yeah, not
He
that you
literally
can see, but like if you wanted to go somewhere, I suppose like one of the sides would be better because then you would know that there's nobody there. What I'm saying is south of you, you know there are more people coming. So that would probably not be the way to go if you were to try and run away.
5, 60, 60. Then we're like 65 here work. Maybe 65 from me. Yeah, so it's
Right, it
here.
needs to be 65 from the people to your right. So you need
The
to
only
go-
direction I really can do it is downwards. Because of
Yeah.
this gap that they have. Because I need this gap.
What do you mean? You can go like here.
I need to stumble 5 feet, wait another turn, and then I have to move the rest of my movement. Then I'm at 65.
Oh.
So this direction doesn't work for me. I literally have to
Got
pick
it.
this direction.
You have to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they also need to see you. So if there's a door there, it's fine as long as they don't see you.
I can't wait
People that
until
are
one of them
within.
has like spell sniper or whatnot, and then uses that to counter spell.
Now sniper doesn't increase distance, right? Ugh.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah, I'll go downwards still, like how I planned towards the door.
Okay.
Goodbye, celery.
Godspeed.
Man, I wish you had the vine. I wish so badly you had the vine.
I don't even have my spell book. That's how sad I am.
I mean, what does Word of Recall do?
I don't have that prepared, so I don't even recall. I don't even have that spell.
Yeah, but
What?
if he had used it, it would still at this point bring him to Farn Lawson.
Yeah, well, I mean, Farn Lawson, I'm sorry, it's better than here.
So what are you doing, Celery?
I'm going southwards towards the door because that's the only direction that will work for my plan.
Hmm.
And then I cast teleport.
So move your token where you're going.
Oh,
No, nobody can stop you, right? So just move your token where you want to go.
exactly 65, and then yeah. At that point, I teleport.
So you phase step 30 feet.
And then ran 30 feet.
35, I think, for Elf, right?
Yeah. And then I needed to stumble into this spot on one turn prior.
Do you have more
That's why I needed that. I needed this spot.
I mean, you were where you were.
Okay, then I'll move that 5 feet here first and see what happens.
Oh,
be like,
I
oh.
see what you're doing.
Then
kind
the
of like-
guards are going to going to grab you and attack you.
Okay, then as they do that, I'll just move 5 and step away and then see what happens then to my 30.
Okay, we're gonna roll
you
some
just like kind of bluff them a little bit and be like, wait,
attacks of
hold on.
opportunity.
You need to like open up your pack and kind of just like shuffle 5 feet away while you're going through your things and laying them out for them to take.
That's the idea.
Just put on a performance. Yeah.
30 foot from here. Is that 30 foot? No. 6 spaces. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hold on a second now. So first, as you move out, as you start moving, the elite drow warrior immediately strikes you with the scimitar.
Get poison again.
Dealing 25 points of damage. And the other 3 drow warriors are going to follow suit here.
Wait, I'm only in range of one person as I step out, right? And I'm still in range of the rest of them.
Yeah, they attack you
Then I
as you
They were getting
move.
ready.
Ah, okay.
Um,
I was gonna just stumble and fall.
Yeah, you're knocked unconscious by their attacks.
Sure.
So that plan failed for now. Getting back to it, Frid, you want to use your time stone again?
It's not gonna. Yeah. It hasn't worked this much, but it's been progressively getting hotter.
Hmm.
As a player, I want to see what it does. As a character, it's clearly doing something, and the current option seems
They are
quite
probably
scary.
going to be taking it away from you next moment, so it's going to be your last chance.
Right. Now or never, then I'll use it one more time. Let's use... here's a question. Can I try and do an Arcana check to work out why the spell didn't work? Or was that a passive roll that I wouldn't... Because I didn't succeed, I have no knowledge of why it didn't work, so I can't think to do it again?
What you said last, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then I would like to try and identify the spider. What exactly it is.
Okay. Arcana.
Arcana.
Frid studying a spider, really?
And then I will use the time stone.
And your Arcana check is 9. You have no idea what this creature is.
Right.
Because when you attempt to use the time stone, it's in your palm, and it basically just explodes.
Oh my god.
First of all, Frid, you are going to take a little bit of damage.
Celery's unconscious.
You take okay, that rolled a little high, but all right. You'll take 49 points of damage as this thing blows up in your hand. As you're holding a grenade that goes off.
6 HP and a dream.
Yeah.
And basically everybody around those closest to Frid, you get most likely just thrown down, and the ones like 10 feet away are also like physically affected by this shockwave of raw power that's coming out of this thing. And there's like a whirlwind of a storm that kind of spirals out around you and then dissipates into the air.
Oh. Wow. That's a lot less useful than I thought it would be. I'll be honest.
What are the soldiers doing right now? The ones who are taking us into custody and such.
Well, everybody is kind of trying to grab their footing now after this, and basically everybody turns around and looks at Frid.
Can I try and bluff my way out of this? Like, I don't know what's happened. I'm like screaming in pain. Like, what was that? I have kind of stuff. No.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You can say whatever you want.
Would you like a performance or deception check?
Deception.
Deception. That is there. A 28.
Actually, at disadvantage because you are shaken
Okay.
by a thing blowing up in your hand.
Sure. Deception is there.
It's not going to be much lower, but
Yeah, 28.
yeah. The drow leader who was on her way up to her like big throne just sort of comes up up the stairs as well and just looks at what is going on, and all the other drow leaders also turn around and actually look at you, and the guards are all like, once they've regained their footing, they're all like weapons drawn, ready to like go.
And then I will comply to the word of the letter for everything else they do.
So you have just released a time fiend upon the world.
Yeah, not exactly the effect I expected it to have, but I
It
think
was
from
just
Fridge's
so funny
perspective,
that a grenade just went off.
uh,
So there's no more like lingering effects within the room or anything to signify this. It's just boom, then a cloud, and then that's it.
Yeah, not that you can tell. It seems like it's gone, and in fact, the time stone is gone, so you no longer have it. Lost forever.
Okay. So what exactly did we see? If you could describe it for me, what did we see when Celery got cut down?
Basically, Celery just kind of making a move to move away, and all the guards just kind of going down and beating Celery down.
What did they have in their
Not
hands
lethally.
again?
Okay, I'd like to like I don't know if they can understand me, but I'd like to kind of as a prisoner would do. So I'm still submissive. I'm not trying to like threaten them, but I'm also signifying that I can heal Celery and would like to do that if they'll let me attend to my fallen comrade.
The guards don't seem to necessarily understand you. You don't get the sense that they do. But the drow leader, who's been speaking to you in common, she says, no need. And as the sort of shock of the whole time stone exploding kind of thing wears off, they continue taking away your stuff. So basically they are basically disarming you of anything you have. They let you keep your clothes.
And my armor.
Well, yeah. Your armors in general, they're not going to start taking your armors off, but they will take like items like potions and scrolls and such. They aren't like thorough in inspecting all of your jewelry, for example. So they're not taking your earrings away or your amulets of health or anything. But generally like stuff, loose stuff. And if you comply with them and what they are doing, basically what they end up doing with you is they line you up here. And the drow leader, she picks up her robes again and kind of puts them on top of her armor again, and she speaks to all of you and says, "Are any others going to try to run?" She looks at Reynard and says, "Bring that one back," pointing to Celery.
So like she's instructing me to bring Celery back?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Then I'll
heal.
kneel and use I'll kneel and use lay on hands. We'll just throw 20 points of health back in right now.
20? Whoa.
Yeah.
She says, "If any of you attempt to escape, the others will be executed."
And
As I
what's to come
said,
of us?
as I said, we will honor our agreement. You have given us information that we value very much, and we will let you go. This was never out of contention. We will guide you to the surface. But now you have committed crime after crime. You have attacked us, attacked me. And for this, you must suffer. So, once more, if you do not resist, this will go by fast. If you do, we will simply have to hurt you even more. Do we have an understanding?
I do.
Reynard says nothing, just glowering with hatred at her, sort of vowing vengeance in his mind without saying anything.
She looks to the old drow leader and she says something in drow to her. I don't think anyone had you didn't have drow knowledge on currently, so you don't quite know what was said, but the old drow gets up from her chair and she walks up to you. And this is the first time you can really see her properly. And as said before, you notice that she's very old, but you immediately get the sense that she is also she is clearly not weak from that age. Physically, she may not be as imposing as the leader of them, but she clearly has power from her experience. And with a really kind of almost empty stare, she looks at each of you, and then she locks eyes with Mervyn.
I start
And and then she she raises her hand and she utters a spell. You recognize this as the spell that the leader was trying to cast at the very beginning as well. The same spell, and she casts it on Mervyn. Does anyone try to counterspell this time? Mervyn, you need to do a Constitution saving throw.
$19.
That's a good question. What's the DC?
Should I use Flash of Genius? 19's fairly high.
It doesn't even matter, right? Because you're just
I
gonna take a
know it
punishment
doesn't.
anyway.
I know it doesn't.
You do succeed in saving. You take 25 points of necrotic damage as you feel you feel very sick inside of you. You feel like something is like sapping energy out of you, and it is very painful. She moves on to cast the same spell on Frid. So a Constitution saving throw, please. It's a save. You take 26 points of damage, but
So I'm dead.
no, because this damage cannot drop you under 1 hit point.
Ah.
But it hurts all that much worse because you hit the limit of yourself, but then it just keeps on hurting. So
You feel like you should have died.
yeah, you feel like you should have died several times over.
Right.
Then Pyros.
Oh, there we go.
That is a fail. So you take 59 points of damage, bringing you to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition, your... I mean, this is going to be inconsequential. I'm going to let you know, so you don't necessarily have to dot this down on your character sheet or anything, but your maximum health is also reduced by 59 for 1 hour.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Then Reynard.
Kind of reflect on the markings on my hand as she casts the spell.
I also love this lineup with Todd there.
Is she gonna cast it on Todd?
I mean,
We'll see.
Why not?
So that's a 15 with my bonus, but presumably that does not fail. Or that
Yeah, it still fails. You also dropped 1, and your maximum hit points are technically reduced by 48 for 1 hour. Todd. She locks eyes with Todd and stares, tries to win a staring contest against Todd.
No pupils, just the glow behind the slits of the city city guard helmet that I stole.
Will Todd attempt to save?
Oh yeah, sure. So saving throws. 17.
That is a fail.
Todd gets my bonus.
True.
So 19.
That is a success.
Haha!
Okay.
Todd does still take 25 points of necrotic damage. And then finally, Celery, Constitution saving throw.
I think it matters, right? I'll still drop to 1 even if I save.
Yeah, most likely. That's a fail. You drop to 1. And your maximum hit points reduced by 42. And with that done, the Drow matriarch goes back to her seat. And the leader looks at you and speaks. You have suffered. But you have also gone beyond your original crimes. We may have riches down here, but perhaps a tribute is in place after all. How much do you offer?
Of our gems?
Yeah, you were talking about the gems last time.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's give him 1,000. Start with that. Or do we want to just really throw money at the problem?
It's probably better to overspend than underspend.
Okay. Let's try. I mean, we have 12,000 from the Dragon's Hoard, so let's try 4,000.
You slide forward 4,000 gems.
4,000's worth of gems, yeah. I can't imagine the currency is the same, so gems is probably best.
The spider walks up to you and it changes shape. Not back into the ooze monster from before, but rather it takes the form of a female drow.
Oh.
And this creature comes and picks up the gems, and it scurries off with them into the back rooms.
Does it still move like a spider, even though it's a person?
No, moves normally. I mean, it wasn't a spider to begin with.
Right, yeah. Okay.
It was an ooze monster. Yeah, then she says, very well, we are done here. You will be led to the surface, as discussed.
I guess I'll stand up, not say anything, and just wait for whomever's gonna escort us out.
I would point out that you did spend like the whole day traveling over here. And after this ordeal, you're feeling really tired.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't want to be in this city another second, so
Mm-hmm.
even if we have to camp in the caverns with the mind flayers all, I don't want to be here. But yeah, that's not my call alone, so.
Yeah, the drow leader says, just says, you may leave now. Your escorts are outside. Try anything, and you know what happens.
Do we get our gear back or no?
and the guards start handing your stuff back, and the drow leader also says, "Know also that without your escorts, you will never find your way out. It is best for you to simply comply."
Very well.
Oh, Reynard is 100% plotting the demise of these escorts as soon as we're at the surface.
Well,
but
I mean, I was
between now and then,
hoping,
I will be absolutely compliant.
Well, I mean, I was hoping that the guy who cast the chain lightning on us was going to escort us out, and then we could murder him real hard. But
Mhm.
since it's just some random other drow, I don't know how I feel about killing them.
Yeah, I mean, again, not everyone is, a guide to the caverns.
Yep.
this
But isn't
this
that
like
the guy who
royal
led us here
super
in the
guard is
Right,
probably
but isn't
not
that the
going to
person
be.
who led us here in the first place?
No, they left.
Oh,
they left
sorry.
you. Yeah, they
Yeah.
left on the outside.
Sorry, I've confused them. Yes. Okay.
All right. So yeah, I guess we'll head back out.
All right. You stand up and turn away and start walking away, I suppose, kind of dejected and sort of defeated. And 4,000 gems poorer.
And a time stone pourer.
And all your maps poorer as well. Let's not
But a
forget
time
that's...
fiend unleashed upon the world, Richard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many good things were done here today. So, do you just walk out of the temple?
Well, she said our escort was waiting outside, right?
Yeah.
And we have all of our stuff at this point, so yeah, unless there's a reason not to.
I don't know. I mean, you're always up to some shenanigans, so I'm just like double checking if you start murdering people all of a sudden.
No.
We were dismissed.
Did we use suggestion
Sure,
or
actually,
anything?
fuck it. I'm gonna ask. Can I take a keepsake from the matron's body that I killed? Why not, right? An offering to Hor, as we've given you offerings to Lolth.
Just out of character, I'm making sure you mean like an object, not like a body part.
Not like an ear. Yeah, exactly. Like a signet ring or something along those lines. Just a keepsake, a memento.
Ideally, what I want is something from one of the other women, so Celery can learn Nightmare later,
Nightmare?
and we can get our revenge.
What's nightmare?
What? Sorry.
Reynard, I suppose try a persuasion check on that. You feel like it's probably going to be a pretty tough sell.
20.
The drow leader says no.
All right, well, I'll look at the corpse and say only the memory then, and then leave the room.
Yeah, you make your way outside, and you're not entirely sure where they've come from or anything, but there's a small group of drow there. 5 drow male again, standing out there, waiting for you. These are different from the ones who led you here in the first place. And they look at you and they just say, they say something in drow again, and kind of motion to follow.
Well, I suppose the emotion is clear enough.
Yeah.
I'll ask, do they speak common?
They do not seem to understand the question.
Perfect.
How about undercommon?
So we can talk about them in front of them.
Hmm. As we walk through the city, I'll start ruminating about exactly how I'm going to kill them. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to.
They do seem to like respond to, or they seem to understand Undercommon. Yeah, what are you saying to them?
Just asking if they understand as well, in case we need to communicate.
Yeah, you get the sense that they probably do understand, but they don't really reply to you.
Okay.
You're not. I guess give me an insight check.
I am not particularly good at that, but oh well.
You're not sure. It's a bit of a coin toss for you, but you kind of get maybe the sense that they just don't like you, or there's like some reason why they in particular don't want to like talk to you. It doesn't seem to be just like them being quiet people. It seems like they don't want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
They are from the house of the matron we killed.
Do we see any particular insignia or anything that suggests any connection to any of the matrons that we saw in the chamber?
No, actually, no. You don't. These don't seem to be connected to them.
Okay.
But yeah, they start leading you through the streets of the city. This time, like previously, everybody was kind of ignoring your group. This time, people are. You see people kind of sneaking looks at you. So you think somehow the news have been the rumors have been spreading fast around here about
I heard my very high-pitched screams.
about what went down there. But yeah, the drow lead you out of the city.
No argument as far as leaving the city. I think I share Mervin's take that we want to leave this place as fast as we can. But once we're out, definitely traveling through the Underdark at 1 health on the brink of exhaustion is not the greatest. Can we try to like signify to our escorts that we want to rest and recuperate and like for their safety as much as ours?
We could probably try to ask them. Not sure how well it would go right now, but ask them if we can rest up and bandage our wounds from our journey.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it is in their interest too. Like we are capable fighters, and the Underdark is dangerous.
Can all 10 of us fit in tiny hut?
I think
How many
just
drows?
barely. 5 of
Isn't it
them.
like it's a 10-foot radius or something for a tiny hut?
It says specifically how
10.
many people can fit in there.
Oh. Okay.
9 creatures in total.
Ooh.
So all of
Well,
us,
Celery
and then
doesn't-
one of our escort to keep watch outside.
Oh, yeah. Plus Todd outside.
We'll stop.
So do you ask them as you're like on the outskirts of the city, or what?
Yeah, that's my take. As soon as we leave the city behind, I think then our focus turns towards resting and preparing for the journey.
Mm-hmm.
But the only one who can communicate with them currently is Pyros, so I'm kind of...
Right. So yeah, once we basically, if someone mentions it to me once we get outside, then yeah.
Well, you're outside the city walls, but you're not like outside completely.
Mm-hmm.
But do you bring it up now? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay. They ignore you.
Okay.
And keep moving. they take you to you end up kind of arriving in this different kind of cavern, which is filled by a big lake, big lake, with like tunnels going out of it that you can see in the distance somewhere, and they lead you over to some sort of docks where there's a boat waiting for you, a boat for about 10 people, and they jump in the boat and tell you to follow.
All right.
And yeah, they don't say anything, but just kind of you would guess that you can probably take a short rest on the boat here.
So can I just as I don't remember who's at what health, but can I divide up, lay on hands the rest of what I have, which is 55 points, to everyone who's at 1 health? See if we can at least give a little bit of a buffer.
There's your health.
Ah, thank you.
Does Frid want to use Song of Rest?
I actually don't.
Thought so.
I think that's a wise choice. What's the rules on expending hit die? Is it you regain half when
You regain half of your maximum when you take a long rest.
Okay, got it. All right. So then
Could I just put 4 cure wounds on whoever?
Well, Reinhard was
it's
going to
gonna be-
use.
Yeah, the math ends up being 13 points to everybody. With everyone who was at 1 gets 13 back, and then I've got 4 left over. So
Okay, I'll just use 1 cure wounds on everyone as well. Where's my cure wounds? Let's hope this is a high roll because I just used the same roll. I don't want to roll that many times. Okay, minimum healing again. Okay, so everybody heals 5.
Oof.
And then I'll roll my hit dice.
How do I roll like many hit dice? Because I wanted to spend like 7.
You click it
I
7
guess I
times.
just roll them all in. Oh, okay, fine. 7 times. All right, never mind.
Or you could do a
And I
custom roll
recover
like that.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to use you might want to use 1 at a time because you can use as many as you want. So
Yeah.
depending on your rolls, you might get high rolls and not want to use that many.
Wow.
I mean, since this is free, I'll use it as well.
Okay.
Wow, 5 as well. That's just sad.
On who?
I'll put it on myself.
Okay.
Because we're doing an
I
hour,
doubt
so
it
we have
won't matter.
feedback. So. It'll be my last one. Now.
all right, I'm just going to use everything I had left. So.
All right. Is everyone done with their healings?
Not yet.
Oh, I'll spam mending on Todd so he's back up to full.
Oh no, Fred failed a death save. Oh no.
An arrow comes out of the shadows and pierces Fred through the neck.
A crit fail too, so that's 2.
Yeah.
So as we're traveling and kind of on the boat and such, can I
Mhm.
kind of try to take stock of the capabilities of our escorts here in combat?
Far lesser than those that you fought. You can probably take them on.
Sounds good. Once we get to the surface.
The 5 of you, I mean. So yeah, they lead you on this boat, which takes you through some lakes and some rivers in the Underdark. Eventually, you leave the boat and you start going through what seems to you like an absolute labyrinth of a cave system. You think even if you were like trying to super pay attention right now, you don't think you could like try to commit to memory how to get through this whole place. So you don't think you would be able to navigate your way back to the city, unfortunately. And without the guides, you would definitely be lost in here. But they seem to be completely fine about all of this. You also notice that there no longer seems to be any of that Underdark flora around here, so you seem to be reaching the surface levels. And eventually you also notice that the air is getting like fresh. It's starting to get a little bit colder actually as you're going up. Like in the caves, the temperature in general is quite chilly. But it's for some reason getting a little bit colder as you are moving along. Eventually you come to an intersection, and there's a tunnel that your guides point to, and they just sort of point towards that tunnel, and then they start walking the way you came.
Well, before
I'm
they
gonna head
leave,
down the tunnel.
David, go ahead.
okay. No, I was just asking if the party, and I'll ask in common since they don't appear to understand it. Should we set them on our way, or set them on their way, or allow them to go on their way, or should we send a survivor and 4 heads back to the city?
Fred isn't going to respond. He's just going to start walking down the direction they pointed.
Yeah, I
They
don't.
weren't the ones. They weren't the ones who tortured us. I have no interest in taking a proxy revenge.
Yeah, they were our guides. They didn't. They weren't the ones that did the harm to us.
All right.
So yeah, just
Here we go.
continue on the path that was set out for us.
Everybody is like to this vengeance paladin being like, nope, you're wrong.
If I
That's
had
fine.
something, if I had
The time
something to
will
like
come.
trick, like if we had a cursed item to like trick her into taking or something like that, I'd love to do that, but I have nothing.
Why do you always get rid of all your cursed items?
True, I wonder how much they would have loved the crossbow that can only do non-lethal damage.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, they like slaves, so they want people alive.
True.
Anyways, the tunnel that you are sent into seems to be quite direct, and you quickly realize that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that you have in fact made it back to the surface.
Great. Where are we? Once we get out.
Judging by the cold air earlier, are we on a snowy mountaintop?
Not snowy, but you are on some sort of mountaintop, or not mountaintop, but the side of a mountain you come out of.
What time of day is it as well?
It would be actually like something like 4 a.m. kind of time.
Christ.
So it's a clear night. The sun is barely starting to think about showing up, perhaps. But basically you can see that you are overlooking. Basically, you're looking to the east of you. You have the mountains behind you, and you can see what you presume then is the Empire of Colton. And as you scan the area, you can see that there's some small villages on the plains here. And from your vantage point, that's basically what you see. You can see in the far north, you can see that there's probably a river there, which should give you an indication of where you are indeed.
The villages, are they within traveling distance? Like we could see them. I don't know how high up we are, but
yeah, I mean, you could probably get there. Yes. Hold on, where's the... Hold up, I have a map of this for myself. Where?
We don't have any of our maps, so why would you show it to us?
I'm not showing it to you, I'm looking at it myself. I need to know.
Got it, okay.
Where's the... What is it? Is it this one? Oh, it's that one, yeah. Yeah, you see... Yes, you see a small village that would be pretty much if you, like, sauntered down the mountain and traveled an hour or two, you could be there.
okay. Well, I don't know about all of you, but civilization seems welcome. Be good to orient ourselves, figure out where we are, and maybe have a comfortable rest after that ordeal.
Yeah, I can push myself for 1 more hour, yeah. It's fine.
Reynard knows it's not 1 more hour.
Well, I'm not trying to be deceptive about that. It's about 2 hours down the mountain at a good pace.
Can we just fly down or something?
Todd will carry me.
I mean, we could always, if you want.
Todd dragging you would be...
Oh my
would
god! No, can Todd take us while carrying the lantern? I know I always suggest that, but can he do it?
I mean, yes, we've talked about it. It's possible, but again, you're in a very, very risky situation there. Like, you're super vulnerable in that situation.
Alright. Okay, let's go.
March onwards.
Yeah.
All right. You make your way down the mountain, and as you start moving towards the village, you notice that in the northwest along the mountain, you see that there's some mountains and cliffs there that look much more ominous than the rest of the mountain range.
Might be where we need to go for the Dark Lord.
Mm.
Mhm.
Speculations. I feel like we should just go onto town and then drown ourselves first.
Yes, I don't suggest we go there now.
Hey, Zixiel, mind if we take a nap here before?
Do you mind
Yeah.
aligning with us so that we can go take down the drow together? I mean, the common enemies are like common enemies should be how we band together.
I'm on board with that.
We still
I'm
need
like-
the key from him.
Why do you expect them to be enemies?
Why do you even bother to get the key at this point? I'm like, to hell with civilization. Everything can burn.
You get towards you get to the village. It's it's like very early morning now. This seems to be some sort of farming village type of place. Reynard, you get the sense that this is all familiar seeming, but you can't quite understand why.
Hmm. Familiar in like an attractive way, familiar in a foreboding way. Like, is it cozy, like comfortable, familiar, or is it off-putting?
I don't think either. It's just that you think you know this place. Or it feels
Okay.
like you would know this place.
Okay, I think given the background, that would put my guard up a little bit, but it's still civilization, and that's pretty welcome right now. Is there an obvious, like, as we kind of approach the I don't know how big the village is, but is there an obvious, like, tavern or inn or something like that we could direct?
No, it's very small. There's some farmers up though.
Okay, so I guess
What do you do?
we'll approach the first people we see then. When you say they're up, they're like already attending to their farm work?
Yep.
Okay, we'll approach.
The farmer you approach looks at you, and they seem to be a little bit scared at you approaching, and they yell as you're getting closer. They yell, "Who are you?"
Keep hands up, right? So there's no like, obviously we're armed, but
Yes.
we're travelers, adventurers, in need of a place to stay, in need of succor. Will we find that here? What is this place, this village?
Don't need to mind us. Why don't you just keep on going? We don't want
You're
any
not-
trouble from vagabonds around here.
Vagabonds?
You have no tradition of
Vagabonds?
hospitality?
You are strangers. We don't need your kind here.
Let us stay here, pretty please.
I think at this point we're better off just camping out. They obviously do not want us here.
We could probably slaughter the village and take their homes as our own. Just saying.
We are becoming very
Yes.
violent all of a sudden.
Frid gets mercury when he's tired.
Could does not mean
I-
should or would.
Indeed.
Fred, why don't you just detect thoughts before we take a rest and like see what are they so afraid of, that why are they so hostile towards us?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be very disarming, because for as much as we look like a bunch of armored warriors, I'll tell them, I'm no stranger to farm work. I'm happy to put in a turn at whatever chores need doing, but we could use a nice place to stay and some good food.
I mean, their reaction is also not like strange, because travelers in small villages like this are looked upon as some strange people who are usually unwelcome. The farmer says, "We have all the hands we need here. What are you doing here for real? Where did you come from? Nobody walks around here."
And why is that?
"We are remote. We mind our own business."
We came from the mountains right beside that ominous blackish cave.
As you say that, the farmer really seems to like tense up and looks at you again and says, Stay back. Stay back. We don't need you people here. You've taken enough."
Are you referring to the Drowls? By you people? Do we look Drow to you?
Says, "Stop talking to me. We don't need you here. Please, just leave."
And what are you gonna do if we move forward?
Let's just
I
leave.
take one step forward.
Yeah.
I take one step
There's no
forward.
point
At
to
this
this.
point, I'm so edgy. At
The
this point, I'm so
farmer,
edgy,
Wait.
I'm ready to create
These are
trouble.
good people. These are hardworking.
the
people.
farmer picks up. I guess they have a pitchfork because they're a farmer. So they take their pitchfork and they kind of just point it at you. Their hands are clearly shaking really bad, and they just say, "Just leave us alone."
So why
Right,
are you so
so-
afraid? That's my question.
Right,
What are you so
a
afraid
little-
and why are you so afraid?
What happened here, good man?
The farmer says, "You've taken enough. Just go.
Who do
Go
you
to the
think we
others.
are?
Go to the other villages. Take more from them. Leave us alone."
All right.
Wait, you sure you don't want to detect thoughts on this man to just figure out what he knows? Otherwise, I'm gonna try all I can to get whatever information I can.
No.
I think let's just back off. This guy's clearly flustered. Let's maybe try another farm down the road, see if they have a similar story.
And what do you get to gain out of it? It's like we're just gonna travel from one place to the next trying to gather information when we literally can.
We're not going
all
to
be
get
F
anything
of
from
this
any of
earth.
them. It's pointless. They're clearly scared of a necromancer to some degree, or something from up in the mountains, and it
Mhm.
doesn't really matter what it is. We've got to go there regardless for our key quest. So I don't think talking to them is going to solve much. We need to go there. They have been antagonized by the horrible evil in their surrounding areas. They're not going to trust us. I don't see why we're having this conversation.
Does
Yeah,
the
it's
name
just
Zig
tiny
Yog
To
means
give
anything?
you a bit of like context on your situation, you have just like come out in the like the break of dawn into this village as strangers, and then you have told them that you've come from a mountain, and haven't really said anything else. You haven't given any context of like, hey, we are heroes here to save you from the evil thing. You have come down from the mountain and you're like, we are here. You're not really giving much. Is like, I want to point that out, that you're not really giving this person much reason to trust you in any way.
All right. So what's our goal then? Because my goal was just to find a safe place to rest, get some good food, maybe get some local information about what's been going on.
And I
We
kind of
think we know
disagree with
that.
your guys' train of thoughts where we are directly right beside the area of the quest. This is just a assumption on our part. This cave could be any other thing. because we literally just came out from nowhere and we have no idea where we are. So
At the very least,
on
we
my
know
point
that-
of view, I have no reason to believe that we have just landed right outside this cave of Zixel. So obviously, I want to know where I am.
At the very least,
Yeah,
we know
let's-
that we're closer than we were because we are on the east side of the mountainside looking at the Empire.
So what's
We
wrong
should
with me
just
trying to understand
back
what is
up
this
from
thing
this
that's right
man.
there?
Sleep, and then head into the village at a better time of day.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to be terrifying everyone trying to find a bed when we don't even actually need a bed to sleep in.
Yeah.
If we really wanted a bit, we could just step through the vine anyway.
Or we could do that. Either way, we don't need to bother the farmer.
Tomorrow, I'm waking up very violent.
4 hours before the rest of us. Because you only need to trance for 4 hours. Alright. Let's just back up. And yeah, let's just back up in Tiny Hut. Unless people want to go to the tower.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, that's fine. We'll just camp outside the village, I guess, and if we want information, we can always get it later.
All right. So you go to sleep outside the village. Celery, who sleeps only half the time. You notice that every now and then you see some of the villagers kind of coming over to check on you, check on this magical hut in the middle of nowhere. They don't
Wait, if
approach or
I-
anything, but they look from the distance.
The spell ends if I leave the shit, so I am stuck. I have to stay inside. I can't even leave. Mhm. Okay, sure. I'll just be stuck until everybody finish their long rest.
All right. You finish your long rest.
Ooh.
Okay.
It is the afternoon.
I'm gonna change the dark
Yeah.
vision forgery kit
Change up.
back to
spells.
disguise self. Better right now. And then change out my spells. We're not gonna need water breathing.
So, where do you go then?
So I guess we'd want to try to possibly head to the actual like center of the village and get our bearings.
So the village is small. So you are pretty close to the center of the village already. There really isn't much. There's like a dozen houses maybe.
I guess ask anyone if there's a map we can take a look at, because they probably don't have any for sale in this little village.
Well, as you approach the village, there is an elf that approaches you from the village. They are armed. They have a sword on their side, sheathed. And they walk up to you and they say, "So you've come back."
We're really just trying to get a figure on where we are. So we've been journeying for quite a while. There's a particular mission that we're on to try and take care of an evil person around this area, or at least we believe it's around this area. But we got lost and we don't have our maps right now. So we're just trying to figure out where we are.
The elf points to the east and says, "Head that way. You'll hit Targon soon enough."
Targon. Okay.
The east
And
is
why
away
do we
from
want to
mountains.
go to Targon?
They probably actually have shops for us to buy a map.
Oh.
Do you have any knowledge of a supposed Dark Lord around the mountains here?
The elf says, "We know who you are. You don't need to bring your trickery over here. Just move on, or we'll have to make you."
So who are we? Because I frankly don't even know who we are.
The elf says, "I will not fall for your trickery."
Okay, it's time to throw persuasion rolls at this problem. You are mistaken. We are not who you think we are. We were stuck in the dark and have escaped last night. We are tired, lost, do not have our maps. Please, we mean you no harm. We are here. We are to slay the evil. We are dragon slaying adventurers. We have no need to do anything malicious to this tiny village. Please just give us some directions and answer some basic questions. May I roll persuasion for that?
Yeah?
I'm going to re-roll that with lucky because why not? That's the lowest I physically can get. Persuasion again. There.
He says, "Well, I was told you came from the mountains. Not that you
Yes.
came from the Underdark."
Wow.
That-
I didn't
Are you-
realize these villagers here knew our life story. I seem to be mistaken. You're right.
I'll
Clearly.
just point towards like the exact direction we came from. There's a
Oh, wait, the
cave up
entrance?
there that comes out into the caverns and eventually to the Underdark.
The elf seems a little bit flustered, and they say, "There's drow over there.
It's a-
They are right. How long did you come here for?"
We just arrived last night. It was a fairly long distance to get to wherever the drow are, but they do clearly know the path very well.
You're friends of the drow?
Nope.
No.
I would say captives.
We
Oh.
got lost there and were able to negotiate our safe passage. Well, mostly safe. We negotiated our passage.
I see. I guess we were wrong then about you. But
Clearly.
regardless, we don't want strangers around here. We would prefer it if you just kept on moving. As I said, if you keep going, you'll eventually get to Targon. You'll find more of your kind over there.
What is the problem that you face exactly from these people from said mountains? Don't you want us to like attempt to clear it for you?
We don't know who you are.
True.
But what do you
we
mean
do
by
not know who
your
you are either.
people?
You said
farmer
you're
we spoke to-
adventurers.
The farmer we
Oh,
spoke
sorry.
to this
The
morning.
guild is over there.
Ah,
Right.
So what gets taken from your village that you're so concerned about?
People. Of
People
course.
get adopted from here?
Oh, they recruit people for the adventuring guild, and then they die at
If you haven't,
the adventuring.
your story doesn't make sense. If you've come here to deal with the problem, then what? How do you not know even such basic things? Who are you?
You're just trying to check if our stories align.
the issue was we didn't know where here was as of this morning. We were lost, as we said, which is why we wanted some information. But we think that your troubles may align with our goals.
I'm going to draw, I'd like to take out a piece of paper and draw a very rudimentary map of the continent. And then I'd like to ask him to point to where we are.
You're not like at that kind of distance from the elf.
Right. Could I hold it up and then can you approach slowly? Can you holding the map? Will you point to where
As
we are?
you're approaching slowly, the elf holds their sword and says, "Stay away, or I'm going to have to use this."
But I'm only my hands are on the map, dude. Please.
They say, "I already told you, Targon, right that way, directly west."
Yes. We were told to come here from the Confederacy, and they unfortunately did not have much information about what's going on in this area. All we really have is a name of the person we are supposed to try and find and take out, because they have something very important. I don't know if this is necessarily the same person, but the one we were supposed to find is Zixioth.
The elf clearly reacts to this name, and says, "Don't say those things here. Look, people, you strangers, whatever it is you're trying to do here, our little village is not going to be able to help you anyway. We have nothing to give you. I've already told you everything you need. Targon is that way. Big city. You can find anything there. You can find more of you adventurers there. You can go to the guild. You can ask them about all of this.
All right.
Just leave us alone, please. We just want to be left alone, forgotten, and we have nothing. I don't want to have to get violent here, but I will.
How much time would it take to get to that town you mentioned?
Targon?
Yeah.
It's right that way.
I mean, in hours. How long would it take to walk there?
I don't know, a few days.
A few days? Oh, that's not happening. Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. By go, do you mean just walk away from him, or go to Targon? Because I don't want to spend a few more days.
No,
Let's go towards that cave, please. Because
the
apparently
mountains.
Let's go kill a dark
so-
lord.
So he reacted to the name Zixioth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll just point that out. Listen, Zixioth is who we're hunting. Is there someone in the village who could guide us in the direction?
The elf again says, "Stop saying that name. We don't say that name. No, we don't have anyone here. If you need help, Targon is that way. There's other villages that way. Just leave us alone and just go.
At the very least, there's no real point in
Okay.
staying here.
Yeah.
I like to look at Mervin and Fred as we are walking away and ask, in your guys' travel, have you guys ever met anyone that's friendly? Any NPC?
Give me a
Oh
second.
man. Anlin. Remember
Do you
Anlin,
think-
Fred?
Do you think the spell plague is actually having like a psychological effect on the entire population here when nobody is friendly or trusting?
Maybe,
I
or
think-
maybe we're just assholes.
The gnomes seem
Maybe
relatively
we're
friendly.
assholes. Maybe society is crumbling. Maybe this is
Right?
like
This is way too suspicious. Everybody's
this is
suspicious of
ineffective.
us. I feel like we should have the same approach when we approach people. We should just kill on sight.
Mm.
Everybody should just be dead. That's how we should approach
No.
every single person.
No.
It really confuses me how your character is still good aligned.
That's a good point. Maybe I'll change the alignment. But apparently everyone is having this kind of hostility towards me. I was like, obviously I'll just give the same kind of response back. If you're hostile
You're
towards me,
just-
there's no reason I'm going to be friendly to you anymore.
They're just desperately scared. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't
Tiny-
blame common folk for that.
Tiny village of like a couple of dozen people right next to, you know, a dark lord who like abducts people to turn them into undead
Going
creatures.
beyond,
And so far, it seems like
Going
one of them
beyond
owns a sword.
That's
Yeah.
right.
going beyond
So-
this, I asked the entire population here, have you guys met anyone that's friendly and hostile? Oh, sorry, friendly and like trusting? It's like,
Yes,
if
they
the answer is
have.
no,
You
why
have
would we?
met people who
Yes.
are friendly.
Yes, we have.
It's an
It
interesting
was.
theory.
I mean, I will say it was a lot easier when we had the Adventurers Guild charter. I mean,
And-
it wouldn't have helped in this specific situation because they really hate the Adventurers Guild for some reason. But in general, it was a lot easier when we had that.
They
Ethnos
don't
are-
hate the Adventurers Guild, no.
No, then what were they saying about like? Oh, I misunderstood then.
Yeah.
Just wanna-
Ethnos was
You know-
relatively
okay.
nice, considering the fact we had gotten him fired the first time we talked to him.
So
Yeah.
here's my experience ever since I joined the Firestarter. Everyone has either been like hostile to us or afraid of us. None of them have been friendly.
Mm.
So this is just weird to me. Like, why? I approach people to talk and this is their response. Then obviously I'm just going to be hostile back.
No, I mean, there's been many friendly NPCs. You just, I guess,
example.
don't really remember them.
So, okay, so help me understand kind of just the geography of what's been pointed out. We're currently to the east of the mountains now?
Yeah.
Okay, and he's pointed us to the west, so toward the mountain range, as he says, where the
No.
city is?
It was a couple days east.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought he said west.
You're right
Yeah.
next to the mountain range, and a couple of days to the east is the city.
Got it, okay. And
Yeah, I
then
don't
when,
wanna walk.
as we were descending the mountains to kind of come camp in the village, we saw sort of ominous looking cliffs. Can you orient me towards that spatially relative to the village?
Northwest of the
North.
village.
Yeah, northwest.
Northwest of the village, okay. What exactly about the cliffs was ominous looking?
Darkness.
Like they were
Evil
shrouded in
looking?
unnatural darkness?
Okay. Maybe natural. Maybe there's a volcano there. Who knows? But looks different.
It gave a foreboding vibe.
Okay, well, I mean, between that and the fact that people in the village obviously knew the name Zixioth, they were reacting as people in villages near him would react. I don't know. Do we have enough information to think we're ready to scout west, or do we want to head into the city? To get
My
more
vote is we go
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I think we should just go straight for the tower. I mean, we're not going to find really anything helpful in the village except I don't know. Maybe some people at the Adventurers Guild want to help us storm storm his tower.
We could rebuy the maps.
Yeah.
We
It's
can
days,
steal
you know?
Zixioth's maps.
So
Zixioth
far.
might have some maps.
True, probably would. Okay, so then I think the plan then is we're just gonna, if we at this point have a fairly reasonable take on where we are relative to the mountain range at the very least.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm just kind of getting a sense, like, do we feel like we have enough information to just venture into the mountains, look for the tower, and begin that, or do we need
I'm okay with
do we
that.
need a better sense of where we are?
At the very worst, it's just a red herring that Duke threw at us, and we did a good deed and clear out another evil den, and that's totally fine.
Okay,
The
Also,
mountains
could
are
we- I
just
could-
full
but
of
in
evil.
character.
I use Skyrite. Hey Zixia. Come and
Maybe not
fight
here.
us. No, not here. We get
Do
closer.
something over the village. Fuck you guys. Be friendlier next time. Okay, well, I mean, that's fine then. I think if the plan is we're going to strike westward into the mountains and start looking for the tower. Yeah?
That'll work.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I think it's time to cast Find Greater Steed and get my Pegasus for some sky scouting.
I could
What
just
does
turn
your
you into a
Pegasus look
bird.
like?
Finally get
Why
that.
would
I
you
feel like we should.
turn someone into a bird when they can just use a steed? that's like someone's like, hey, I'm gonna ride this horse now. No, I'm gonna turn you into a tiger.
Here's the skateboard.
And of
Yeah.
course, we did sort of prepare for this in the past, where we have 5 sets of climbing gear and 4 sets of cold weather gear. I don't remember why we got 4 instead of 5. Maybe it was because of Pyrus being on fire.
I think that was exactly the reason.
And I think
All
I'm
right.
gonna agree with Free, like how my alignment should change. I'm like, it started off as chaotic good, but now after all of this adventuring, I was like, no, I have no faith in humanity and civilization.
I
So-
have a question. Are we
Yep.
going the normal 4 hours, or are we sort of going to start calling it quits?
No, as I was saying, I was about to just say we will come back next week.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
All right. So, thanks everyone for
Alright.
for the session, and I'll see you next week with more traveling overworld this time.
All right.
Bye.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Thank you everyone for joining in. Indeed, as said, next week we'll continue on with this, and we'll see where they end up in the after the drow. But yeah, thanks and see you. Bye.